Hey, it's James from Electrical, and on today's video we're doing a first fix on this kitchen. So shout outs for this week, we've got a shout out for GC2 Electrical Solutions. So cheers for commenting on the video, much appreciated. Right then, let's get into this. So this is the kitchen we're working in. So it's all been ripped out, ready for the cabling. So there's going to be some lighting going in here, appliances and some sockets and like an aerial going in. So this is the kitchen that's going in. So as you can see by the arched impression, we've got a little cabinet here. So there's going to be under cabinet light there, under here and under this left hand side which you can't see yet. As far as appliances, we've got like a single oven, combi microwave, little fridge there. We've got a boiler house in there. And then you've got the induction hob over this side. On this side of the kitchen, we've got a couple of appliances along here. So we've got like a dishwasher and washing machine. What else? We've got a little cabinet here, so there'll be a cabinet light there and a cabinet light this side. And then in the actual ceiling, we're going to have 6 spots along this section. And we've got a little island pendant and a little room light which is going to be centered. So that's this view then. So like I said, like dishwasher, washing machine, little cabinet here with a light underneath, cabinet with a light underneath, hob here. We've got 6 spots to go in the ceiling and that to ditch off. And there's going to be a pendant island light which is going to hang out there, which we'll probably bring in afterwards just so we get it cock on. And that's got to get recentered. So as far as sockets then, we've already marked out the positions and agreed it with the customer. So we've got the laser level going through the eyelet of the actual box. So we'll have to get this chopped in. This will be a socket, this will be like a TV aerial. Over here we've got a 4-gang switch. So that's going to do the down lights, dining room lights, under cabinets and island pendant. So that'll be like a little 4-gang switch. What else we got? Little socket here. So that's to get chopped in. Socket there to get chopped in. Socket there to get chopped in. So we'll just recable it with fresh cables and brand new back boxes. So we know it's going to be perfect when we come back. So first thing I'll do, we'll get the boxes chopped out for the sockets and that switch over there. We'll get a channel from the socket going down and then the same for the switch going up. And then we'll go on to the next little bit. So that's those chopped out. So they just fit nice and flush, them boxes. So with the brick it's a bit harder, so it ends up mashing around the hole. But if you get on a nice breeze, you see it's a lot neater. So that's all ready to get those boxes. So what we like to use are these little penny washer fixings. So you just get a screw, a little plug and a little M6 penny washer. And then what you can do is knock the back out of your box, and you can drill in any of those 4 kind of areas, and then you got plenty of play, so you basically get them drilled and then you got loads of play to get it perfect. And you can use these guidelines to roughly mark it up, and then use the laser level going through the lugs of the boxes to make sure it's going to be perfectly level. So afterwards, once it's all kind of plastered and that, this box should be perfectly in line with this box. Now I've just noticed this on this cable, little chunk out of that if it's focused. Yeah, nice bit of copper showing, you get a shock on that, lovely. So just getting this fixed now, so we've got one fixing in, and now you can kind of adjust it and make sure it's going to land perfectly, that laser in your eyelets. And then once that's nice and tight, you can get your second fixing in. There we go, red plug. And get him secure. There we go, solid as anything. There we go, that'll do. That's nice and solid. Goes through the middle of the eyelet, through the middle of that one, so these will be perfectly level afterwards. Alright, so move on to these next. Right, we've got all that chased out, so it's a bit dusty in here now. So we've got that socket behind his head. So we've got the box in, chased down to the floor. Same again for these behind my head. We've pulled these sockets out, which was randomly put in. Just look behind my head, there's those just kind of dangling at the moment. So it's a bit of chaos before we start the wiring. So Hayden's just started wiring this. Hayden has arrived, there we go. So basically, this is part of the ring. This here, if you have a look, them two cables are part of the ring, and what a ring is where it comes from the fuse board around every socket and back. So all we're going to do is extend the ring. So we're going to basically eventually take this cable, attach it to a new piece which goes around here, up to here, back down, and then attaches back into the ring. So that's what we're going to do basically, and that's what it's done. So when it comes to the second fix, all we'll do is bring one of those legs, attach it to the old one, bring it to the back of the cupboard, that'll be a socket, and the other one will just be a joint underneath. So that's kind of how we're going to extend the ring for this bit. For this side, as you can see, all the chasers, plasters all over the wall, so I have to get that bagged up. So we've got his little shovel and bag there. Anyway, we'll get all that bagged up, and a bit same scenario here. So here's your ring coming in, you see them two cables there. So all we'll do is send us a new piece of cable for his new ring we're going to create, extend him on, we're going to run him round, up to this socket, up to this socket. It's going to be a socket in the back of that cupboard, so all we'll do is leave like a 2 metre tail and back, which will get brightened up back later, and it'll come round, pick up this socket, and then attach back into this ring. So what we'll do is probably just leave a temporary socket like that, and then when we come back, what we'll do is, again, the new piece will attach onto this one, come into the back of socket, will be a socket back of cupboard, and this will just be a joint underneath. So that's how we're kind of extending the ring. For the hob, what we have to do, basically there's a 6mm coming out the fuse board, and it appears above there somewhere. And what they've done is jointed on this cable, and that socket in the loft, which is no good. So obviously they're 2.5 cables, which we can't do. So what we'll do is find that 6mm and then do a joint in the loft and bring it down the 6-inch, something like that, into the back of the cupboard, and there'll just be like a big red isolator which will power up the hob. We've got the extractor cable to bring in, so that'll be like a 1mm sticking out of here, about 1 metre. It'll come down into the back of this cupboard here and just plug in. That's nice and easy. So we'll crack on with the sockets first and the hob, so let's get to it. So here we go, we're just up in the loft now. You can see that big 6mm coming here, goes underneath here, and it goes into this box like we assumed it would. So it looks like a bit of 1.5 they've used for one of the sockets, a bit of 2.5 for that one, and another 2.5 for that one. So we'll get those disconnected, and then what we'll do is get a proper joint box on this 6mm and extend it down to the hob. So Hayden's just drilling up for that now. Just doing some more digging. We found a little joint box, look at the neck, no lid on it, and there's loads of exposed terminals there, not exploding terminals. Yeah, if you touch your finger on that, you're gonna get a shock. So that can electrocute someone, so we'll have to redo that joint annoyingly. So it's about 50 cables coming in. Good night. There we go, so we got his sockets wired. So here we go, just wrapped them in the back box. And now we have to obviously take the old socket out, so it's a right little crater in there. That's behind the plaster. So Hayden's just wired this up, so it's wired down here. Wired it exactly how we said before. So there's a leg coming out of here for that socket back of there. Leg coming out here for socket back of there. This socket wired, and that socket wired, and my phone's doing that weird focusy thing again. Great. Right then, so that's that. So next little thing is just to disconnect these cables coming out of here. So we've got this random socket here to disconnect, this to disconnect, that to disconnect, and then what we'll do is just shorten these, which will just coil up on top, which will be the cabling for the cabinet light. So we've got those two, that two to shorten, and this guy to shorten as well. There we go. We've also got the aerial cable in, so that's just coiled up, that's ready for the second fix, so that'll get plastered. And again, what we'll do is pull this up, so this is the brown cable, we'll pull that up there and attach it to that at a later stage, so that'll need pulling up as well. There we go, that's a 6mm just pushed into the ceiling, so there's a 10mm that we saw in the loft, so we'll attach onto that later, and that extends down to the bottom here, so this will get brought into the back of the cupboard. So that's that. What else we got? These sockets are being disconnected, so like a socket here dangling, socket there dangling, so all that's being disconnected now. So now we're just going to move on to the lighting. So we're just marked out as this point, it says 1, 2, 3, we can see that, 4, 5 and 6. So we'll get those drilled now, and we've got this handy little tool called a dade, which just captures all the dust, so that just pushes up to the ceiling and stops the whole place getting really dusty. So here we go. There we go, that's those lights cut out. So we landed on the joist here, so we just kicked them all over about 100mm. So So that's that, and I've got those drilled out nicely. So that's the lighting sorted. So all we're doing is just wiring these up now. So we've got the pendant light here, we've got the undercabs, we've got the dining light, feed, and the kitchen spots. So the feed will come in, the pendant light will kind of link across all the switches, and then when you flip the switch, it'll go out on these cables. So it'll go out as the switch light, that switch, and the neutral. So that's that. So we'll get all these tucked in back, and that's going to be all wired up. So that's us done down here. So as you saw, we've wired up for the lighting. So we wired up for these 6 spots. We're going to put the dining room light in later. We're going to put the pendant island light up later. And we've got the under cabinet lights all in. Also wired up for the appliances. So you saw we've got legs out for sockets in the back of the cupboards. We've got the above worktop sockets. And we've got this side wired up with the aerial socket, above worktop socket. And there's going to be like the fridge and ovens this side. So it's all ready for the plasterer to come in. And then the kitchen will get plonked on top. And then we'll be back next week to do the second fix to get all the lighting in and get everything powered up. So that's us done down here. So if you like this kind of content, hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit the little bell notification so you know when we next upload. As always, have a good one from me, and I'll see you on the next one.